As journalism students will quickly tell you, news is what is timely and different. It is not a dog biting a man, but a man biting a dog. News often does not represent a typical day of life. In its search for the unusual, the news media can give its audience a peculiar, distorted view of events and policymakers. And, to a large extent, TV networks define news as what is entertaining to the average viewer. A dull and complicated story would have to be of enormous importance to get on the air. In contrast, relatively trivial stories can make the cut if they are interesting enough. However, when it comes down to it, media is deeply reliant on making money. The quest for profit shapes how journalism defines what is newsworthy, where they get their information, and how they present it. Yet, most news stories come from well-established sources. Major news organizations assign their best reporters to particular beats, specific locations from which news emanates, such as Congress, the White House, Pentagon, and the State Department. This is because politicians depend on the media to spread certain information and ideas to the general public. Sometimes they feed stories to reporters in the form of trial balloons, which is information leaked to see what the political reaction will be.
When reporters feel that their access to information is being impeded, complaints of censorship become widespread. For example, during the 2003 military campaign to oust Saddam Hussein, the Pentagon embedded about 500 reporters with coalition fighting forces to report on combat activity as it happened. This type of reporting can either support or expose government.
However, as technology and communication become faster through social media, there is less time for rational thought and decisions to be made on serious issues. Typically, short news segments called soundbites are used in newspapers and social media to summarize the news without boring the audience. However, when looking at the graph of differing soundbite lengths, we notice that these news summaries rarely go over 15 seconds. Naturally, this short time frame has led to difficulty in discussing key issues such as reforming Medicare, food stamp eligibility, and regulating the service industry. On the other hand, this has allowed many politicians to avoid discussing a detailed plan for their national issues. After all, why make a carefully crafted argument when all you need to do is create a cool catchphrase to please the people? Overall, because of the shortness of soundbites, the difficulty of presenting issues, and the need of entertaining news to maintain public attention, the media often fails to project ideas of politicians and events accurately.